What is up, everyone? Back again with another video. Today's video, man, we're back here on Arma. I just got back from my vacation, so we're gonna load up here and check out the new update. I don't know why it's not. There it goes. So the new update came out, as many of you guys probably have known from if you guys are looking at Arma content online. And we finally have the rocket pods on the Hueys. Now, we have two different rocket helis that were added. We have also this one right here, which is the MI8, which is the one that has the, I believe it's 4 burst rockets, I believe this is. The Huey is a single shot or double shot burst, or you can shoot, I believe, all of them at the same time for, what is it, 18, I think it is, 19 salvo. So, for the purpose of this video, there's been tons of stuff in this entire update that I want to go over, but for this video we're going to go over these Hueys specifically. The next video we're going to go over the MI8, and then the next video after that we'll go over the new Russian Soviet vehicle, the BRDM-2, as well as the new American LAV, which the LAV is a lot of fun. I've been using that a little bit. And then also in another video, we're going to go over the mortars, as well as the new leveling system and how it works, and all the kind of the dumb stuff that we're going to see. So first off, let's go over the Huey. So pretty much the same thing as the regular Huey and the other gunship Huey. This has not changed much at all. We're going to go in here, and we're going to go over here to the pilot seat real quick. Let me just close this door because your boy got on the wrong side like a doofus. Now, do mind you, they seem to have fucked up a lot of the camera angles. So this angle right here, you guys can see here, I'm actually tapping. So normally when you would tap this, it would go to like this and you would be straight on. But for some reason they have fucked up the camera angles, and so third person's kind of like not sitting correctly or not working correctly. So third person flying and doing J-hooks is a little annoying right now. I'm not sure how they're going to fix this or when they're going to fix this, but I hope it does get fixed in the future. Well, with that being said, let's hop into some of the new stuff. We already know about the controls for the standard Huey and how it operates, but let's go over some of the new features that are now in the game. So as you guys can see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, we do have little revolver symbols. Those revolver symbols are left and right side of your rocket pods. So each rocket pod side has 7 rounds. You can also see that right now it's firing in the 3 rocket salvos, I believe it is set up to be. So down here on the main control panel, it's a little hard to see, but down here on the main control panel you have weapon select all. So this is going to allow you to choose which pod, or if you're going to shoot from both pods. So if you want to shoot from one pod, you can do that. Or if you want to shoot from, so like for example, say you want to have the left side be HE and the right side be HEDP, I think it is, you could do that. So you can have either or, especially if you know which side you're putting those in. So that way you can kind of better determine your ammo types. So for the purpose of this, we're going to have for both. And then you can also change your fire mode select, which shows this is going to be a ripple. Since we have both sides selected, I believe it's going to auto fire 2 rounds, so 1 from each side. And then you also can do the amount of the quality of them, or the quantity, sorry. So I believe you can have up to 7, and if I remember correctly, 7 would shoot all of your rounds from pods, both pods. But you can kind of choose that going forward. So in third person, there is no camera for the Huey. So when you're flying, we'll kind of take off a while so you guys can see. When you're flying, there is no, there is nothing. Like there is no, like reticle or anything for you to see. It's all purely by your visual. And you guys can be able to see what I mean by the camera angle here in a second when I take off, how kind of clunky it is. So we're going to hop off and take off. So, see, normally the Huey, if you just tap the right trigger or the right bumper, sorry, it'll usually auto-correct itself. So it'll auto-press itself to the way it's supposed to be zeroed in. But it doesn't do that no more. So, like, if I tap it, I can actually move the lock and get locked in a weird angle. This is the type of things that has been happening. So you almost have to physically lock it so that you can actually use it correctly. But if we go into first person, you guys can see here, we're going to go for this lighthouse. You kind of see how there's no reticle, but it's kind of easy to kind of showcase the rockets from from this view without the scope, because it's going to be pretty much straight on for the most part. But if you want to aim, all you have to do is look around, look straight up above you, and you'll see a deploy collimator. I hope I pronounced that right. But this is going to be your optic. This is going to be your range. And you can see it has a little elevation setting degree, but again, doesn't really feel like that's all that necessary because most of the time, this thing is pretty straight on accurate. So we're going to go to a town on the other side of the map. I'm hoping the audio quality is not too high. But now if we go to the fire weapon select and we go left hand side, you'll see that it can shoot from one side. We're going to do both for the purpose of this video. And I'm going to have lots of videos up with the rockets over the next couple of weeks because this is something I've been looking forward to for a while, so I have a lot of ideas going forward. But so we see these houses up here. So this house right here. Very good, very accurate. Like I said, very pinpoint accuracy. It doesn't really struggle that hard in terms of its accuracy. And then obviously you can change the dial here, the sight elevation. There is another button I thought I saw earlier, but I don't see it now. But you can just pop this up there and it goes away. You also have your lights up here still. There's no new lights as far as I'm aware of. I haven't seen any new lights on the helicopter quite yet. But you will take notice that something has changed with the helicopters, and that is, or just in UI in general, the UI has completely changed. So now instead of being like those dots, you have little hands, and that's how you're able to change seats or change views and all that type of stuff. As well as you guys can probably take notice as well, the camera angle is fucked up in here as well, but it's a little easier to fix yourself in the interior. But landing is a little more frustrating, so if you're still struggling to learn how to land on this game, this update may have made it a little harder for you. As long as you don't move your camera around too much, you can still kind of land relatively easily. But I definitely do feel there is this weird camera issue when it comes to landing, where you feel like your helicopter is super low to the screen compared to everything else. That's something I hope they fix in the coming days and coming weeks and coming months going forward. But yeah, that's pretty much the rocket Huey, or now we can officially say the gunship Huey, because technically, so before I used to call the gunship Huey, there's just the regular M60 Huey. But this is technically the gunship Huey. This is what this is officially known as the gunship Huey. Now these gunship Hueys could be offset with a bunch of different weapons, but in Vietnam, majority of the gunship Hueys you're going to see would have been the M60 rocket hybrids. Those would have been the common thing to see. So we can officially say in the game now that these are gunship Hueys, even though they're not classified in the actual game files. These are, well, okay, they are. I lie. I'm just completely talking out my ass. They are actually called gunship Hueys. So, make fun of me in the comments for that one. Let me delete this real quick and get us a new one. So yeah, so there's tons of different ways you can use this Huey. I'm really excited for the air-to-air combat. That's what I'm mostly excited for. These things are going to be absolutely devastating to ground forces, 100%. But I don't know what the difference is between this one and this one. Oh, I think this one, yeah, this is an HE and this is an HETP. So it's depending on the rock one you spawn in. So this one's HE, which is just high explosive, and then this is high explosive. I'm trying to remember what the DP stands for. Double penetration, I think it was called. It's whatever the DP stands for, but you can actually spawn in. If you go to the actual, if we go here to the helipad itself, you can choose between the HE and HDP. You just have to. I think they're both the same resources and their same rank. I think they're both captain, and I think they're both 2,500 resources. So these things are quite expensive in comparison to a lot of the other helis. I think the other US helis are like 1,200, 1,250, and then 1,500. So this is a drastically large difference in how much it costs. But you can you can get them both if you want. But again, you can reload them if you go to the helipads. All helipads you can refill the rocket pods, and they are infinite restocks, so you're not limited to a certain amount of restocks per pad. So don't think that you're like kind of forced to deal with a 3 or 4 fills, and then you're gonna have to buy a new heli. There are infinite uses. You can refund the pod. I don't quite know what that means. So actually, for the purpose of this video, we're sitting here. I'm actually going to test this theory out. If you can actually, what happens when you refund the pod? Um, it's just interesting. Okay, so you can just pop on a new pod. So for future reference, you can just load a new pod on if you have to. There is a couple bugs that I do want to mention in this video that I have ran into today while playing, because I've only played the new update for today so far because I've just gotten home last night. But there is a couple bugs that I've ran into with the helis. The biggest one being that the rocket pods seem to be glitchy, and they don't always show how many rounds are in for you as a pilot. But other people can see the pods. So if you can't see how many rockets you have or can't fill them or whatever, have someone refund the rockets. This is a way around the glitch that I found, is have them refund the rockets, and when they refund the rockets, it'll glitch out for them, but it will unglitch for you, allowing you to like resupply the rockets or shoot the rockets. Earlier I had rockets in, but it wasn't letting me shoot. Had someone refund the rockets, I had to rebuy the rockets, and then I was able to shoot again. So kind of just depends on that going forward, so just be aware that there might be that glitch, as well as they have changed the way fueling works. So instead of being 1% or 0.1%, whatever it is was before, to refuel aircraft, it is now percentages. So they have it goes up by like what, 3 or 4%, 5% now for fuel, so you can fuel a helo like double the time that it normally would. Repairing seems to have been increased time-wise a little bit, but it does seem supplies has been reduced for how much it costs to repair a helo, at least in my experience so far. They have also made the capacity for helos for storage up to 200. I believe previously it was 290 for the helis. I'm not aware of this being different for the style of heli. I think all of the Hueys are the same for storage. So they have been reduced. Now, obviously, a lot of the other vehicles have been increased, which we're going to go over in a different video. With all the transport trucks have been changed, and the cars have been changed. But this itself has been changed as well. Passengers, this thing can hold. If you're having gunners on this Huey, it'll be the same amount of people as it would be on the regular gunship Huey, the one before with the rockets. So these things are still very good for troop carrying. But I recommend, if you're going to be troop carrying with these rocket Hueys, to do a gun run, drop troops, and then do another gun run. Because, see, before it was easier to drop your troops and then fly around in a circle around the target with your gunners. But because you have the rockets now on these things, you can do 2 rockets to a specific area where you see a lot of enemies. That'll disorient them, drop the troops, and then do another pass with the rockets. I still think the M60s are trash. I still truly do believe that. So if you have infantry, I would tell them, unless you have a friend who wants to be a gunner, that they can just hop out of the gunner seat, because I truly think the M60s are trash. Now with the rockets, if I could just take off if I could just take off the M60s and not have them on, I'd probably do that, because the M60s are useless in my opinion. They only knock people, so the first shot you hit them with the M60 won't kill them, which is dumb. But that is just my opinion on it. So yeah, I wouldn't rely on the M60s now. I think that's going to be a recurring thing going forward, is you're not going to see a lot of people rely on... you're going to see a lot of people not rely on the M60s as much. You're going to see a lot more gun running with the rockets. The rockets don't seem to be that expensive either for supplies. I think it's about 100 supplies a rocket. So if you want to do a whole pod, it's about 700 supplies, which is still a lot. But it could be less. From what I've seen, it looked like 100, but it could just be me having the supply glitch, where sometimes it just like rapidly depletes all your supplies and you get all your supplies back. It's the weird glitch that happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. There's not much new with the Hueys other than the actual rocket part. There's obviously now more stuff in the actual cockpit now with the actual settings. And we can go back in here in the cockpit and I'll show you guys. It is a little glitchy inside. It's not. It doesn't seem like the windows for items are as open as they were before. So you have to really be looking at the spot. So those two little red dots are the buttons that you're seeing here on the screen. So if you look up just a little bit, you're not going to see it. If you look too far down, you're not going to see it. Too far to the right or left, you're not going to see it. So you have to be looking at those red dots, which means this is going to be a little annoying for the guys who are trying to do a lot of things like fly in third person, turning and dodging rockets and try to look down. So if you have a co-pilot, maybe have them be in charge of this. I believe they can see this switch as well. If they can, then definitely have them help you with that. This could be a thing where having a co-pilot, this would make having a co-pilot very good, because he can kind of control, if you need to say, hey, I need to shoot from left, he can switch to left or right, or vice versa. So, that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Again, there is two different versions of the Rocky Huey. There's HE, the HEDP, but both are basically the same thing, other than when you buy them, the ammo that is on their name is going to be the one loaded. So HE is going to be loaded, or it's going to be HDP loaded. But you can change out that ammo as you see fit. So if you buy an HE but you really wanted HDP, you can switch out once you spawn it in. So that's always an option as well. And I believe if you trade in the rockets, I believe they give you supplies, so you're not just wasting supplies if you do that. But that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode, which we will go over the new Soviet helicopter, which is the MI8 with the rockets as well. Until then, see you guys in the next one. Peace.